Hey everybody, Little Mo Gaming here. Welcome back to another episode. It is currently middle of the week. It's Tuesday for me. For you, it's either Wednesday or Thursday. I don't know when I'm going to upload this, but if I get around to editing the video tonight, I'll upload it tomorrow. But I hope you're having a good week so far. We're right there at the hump day, almost to the weekend. Hope everyone's been doing well. I am hyped to get on here and talk about a few different things. Just a few different news stories, really. I don't know why I said I'm hyped. I'm just I just had my lunch and I'm sitting in my lunch break in my car, and the place that I used to park behind our store now has a sign that says private property, no parking. Violators will be towed. So I don't know, maybe it's because of me. So yeah, I'm just chilling in my car, and I'm definitely going to be moving it here shortly. But I actually recorded this video 2 days ago. And no, I'm sorry, yesterday I recorded it, and I decided to go ahead and redo it specifically because of this first thing that I'm going to talk about in regards to gaming news. But before I get into that, I just want to say real quick, you're going to be enjoying some Expedition 33 gameplay alongside some Gran Turismo 7. I will talk a little bit more about Gran Turismo 7 later on in the episode as to why I'm back into it. And also, I'm going to be showing off gameplay from maybe one or two other games. I don't know what, but we'll see. But yeah. Let's get right into it. So, first thing I want to talk about, and this is the major gaming news of the week, and that is that we finally got Highguard. That's right, Highguard. Remember that game that Jeff Keighley showed off at the end of the Game Awards, and it was like the big reveal, and everybody hated it? That's hate is a strong word, but I guess everybody was just a little bit let down to see, another hero shooter multiplayer thing as the big reveal in the Game Awards. Myself included, I wasn't really too excited to see that, but it is what it is, and I just thought like, okay, well, it looks cool, and well, the game released yesterday, and the reason why I'm re-recording this video is because when I recorded this video yesterday, I had seen a message from a friend of mine. If you know the Beard Bites podcast, Ahmed and Hadi on there, I have a little group chat with them, and Hadi was texting in there saying that he had downloaded Highguard and started playing it, and he's like, "Hey guys, they might actually be cooking here." And so I got a little hyped and excited to try it out because, if there's any kind of positivity around it, then it's probably good. And then, of course, later on, he gave his true impressions on the game, which I won't really mention too much of what he said. I'll let him do that if they talk about it in their next episode. But I just thought, like, based off of that, maybe I should just wait until I try the game, because there were some things that I said in the video that honestly didn't really age too well. But that being said, I downloaded Highguard last night and I tried it. It's a free-to-play game, so it's not hard to get into. Oh, hold on. Let me make sure that my phone is still recording. Okay, yeah, sorry about that. Sometimes my phone gets these notifications and it stops recording and I have to start over. So, but yeah, so what do I feel about Highguard? In all honesty, I thought it was pretty fun. I didn't really play that much of it. I played through the entire tutorial, and I played through a round, right? Like through one actual real world multiplayer round. It's a fun concept. The game has a fun concept. So basically, you start off in this kind of what reminded me of Rainbow Six Siege. This moment where you prepare your base, and you prepare it by reinforcing walls. all around your base. And it really reminded me of Rainbow Six Siege, where you could reinforce the windows and put up blockades and things like that. So you can definitely see that influence there. And then after that, you get to go out into the world and gear up, and you just pick up weapons and armor, and and then when the game starts, it's about trying to collect this. It's like this big sword. I forgot what they actually call it. I think it's called like a shield penetrator or something like that. But you need to collect this item, be the first team to get it, and then you go to the other team's base and you need to penetrate their shield. And it's pretty cool. I mean, you get this item and you plant it on their shield, and then it summons like this massive I don't know what it's called. It's like the thing that like kind of slams into a wall to break it open. I think it's called no, it's not a trebuchet. I forgot what it's called, honestly. I can't think of it, but it summons a big thing like that, and it breaks through their shield, and then you can infiltrate their base, and you go in and you know, take out a couple different shields, and you win. In concept, it's pretty cool. The problems I had with the game, it's 3v3, and the map is huge. So trying to find the enemies, you know, it kind of gives you an idea of like where everyone is, but sometimes you get lost, and you have a mount, right, which makes it a lot easier to traverse. So I think part of the reason why the maps are so big is because of this mount feature, and I think they just knew that people were going to use it all the time, and you kind of have to. And I will give it credit where credit is due. The mount feature is actually really, really good. You know, you jump on this horse and you just kind of summon it out of thin air, and you can kind of use it in tandem with, like, you know, jumping off, like you can jump off a building, right? And right before you land, summon the horse, and it's just a really, really cool moment. And you can jump off the horse and shoot somebody and then jump back on, and it's like you can use it really smoothly and transition from being on your horse to off your horse. So I do appreciate that in terms of like I guess like a gameplay kind of thing. Other than that, the gunplay is really good. I mean, you know, this game comes from people who worked on Apex Legends and Titanfall. So yeah, the gunplay is really good. There's some special powers. You know, it's a hero shooter, so every character has their own powers. But yeah, I felt like also the time to kill, you know, this was a common thing that I'd heard, that the time to kill was very quick. I felt like every time I saw an enemy, I died immediately. And that could be a skill issue, but I do think that that's something that can be worked on. And then I personally felt like the respawn time was a little long, but I don't know if that's really, you know, a problem. I mean, it was really long in Battlefield as well. So, but overall, I thought it was a really fun game. I just don't know how long it's going to be here to stay. And I think the reason for that is that, you know, as fun as it is, people are just tired of these kinds of games. You know, people want to see, you know, like, okay, like this was made by the people who made Titanfall. Why can't we get a Titanfall 3 or even like a brand new IP similar to Titanfall, you know, in that same kind of style or whatever, like a cool single player story with like a really fun multiplayer mode? That would be awesome. But to do like a free to play hero shooter, I think people are just sick of it. And I don't know. I mean, I will say, you know, it is free to play, so that's really good. At least they're not charging, you know, like $50 for it. The game can use some work, but I do think there's some potential there. We'll see where it goes. Is it something that I'm going to really jump into and play all the time? Probably not. In all honesty, I'll probably play like one or two more matches just to get some footage, and also just to kind of get a little more feel for it. And like, yeah, I mean, if it's something I get addicted to, then I get addicted to it, and that's testament of a good game. But I didn't really get that feeling last night, like, oh, this is something I'm going to be addicted to, you know? But then again, like I said, it could be a skill issue. Maybe that's why I wasn't enjoying it, because I kept dying. And if I get better, maybe it actually ends up being a really rewarding and fun game. But we'll see. Only time will tell. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Just wanted to talk about Highguard a little bit. For the next part, I want to talk about the Xbox Developer Direct. So pretty wild. It's almost like a full circle moment for my channel, because my first Little Mo Gaming at Lunch video, if you don't know, I used to call this series Little Mo Gaming at Lunch. Now I just call it Little Mo Gaming episode whatever. You know, I just figured I'd drop the lunch, you know. But yeah, my first episode was actually about the developer direct from last year, where they talked about Expedition 33, Doom the Dark Ages, South of Midnight, and we got a surprise reveal of Ninja Gaiden 4. This year was pretty cool as well. We got a surprise reveal of a game called Kiln, which is like a multiplayer pottery game from Double Fine, the people behind Grim. Okay, sorry about that. My phone started ringing. So back to what I was saying. Yeah, the people behind Grim Fandango and Psychonauts, I believe, and most recently Keeper. So they made a really cool multiplayer game that looks pretty unique, where you build your own little character out of like a pottery thing, and you can make any shape you want, and it kind of affects the gameplay. Looks fun. Probably not what I'm going to be. Probably not something that I'm into, but it actually looked pretty solid. But the main games that they talked about, they started off with Forza Horizon 6, which looks really incredible. It's going to Japan, and it's kind of what got me back into Gran Turismo 7, because I started itching to play like a sim racer, and I love Gran Turismo 7. I played a lot of it like 2 years ago, or I'm sorry, at this point, I think it was like 3.5 years ago that I played it. Um, Put a little bit of time into it, and then I completely forgot about it. So I re-downloaded it, and I've just been playing for the past week or so. It's pretty good, pretty great. Forza Horizon 5 came to PS5, but I never really got into it. I probably will before 6 comes out, or at least later this year. But honestly, Gran Turismo 7 is really solid. It got an update for PS5 Pro, so the game looks beautiful. And it also has like a VR mode, so I actually want to try it in VR and like be inside the car. I heard that's like one of the best experiences on the PSVR 2. So that being said, Forza Horizon 6 looks incredible. Of course, it's going to come to PS5 later this year. They'll come to Xbox first. After that, we got a look at Beasts of Reincarnation, which is the first game we've ever seen from the developer Game Freak besides Pokemon. Yeah, Game Freak, the people behind Pokemon, made a new game, and it's looking incredible. I mean, it's an action RPG. It kind of has like influence from games like Nier Automata and Souls-likes. And graphically, it looks incredible, and it makes you wonder, like, how are they even able to do that when all they've done is Pokemon? But it really makes you think, like, is it the hardware limitations, maybe on Nintendo or whatever? And now that they're developing for like PlayStation and Xbox, are they able to come up with something a lot better? I think that is the case, and I'm not like super, super excited for it. It's not at the top of my radar, but because of the fact that it is from Game Freak, I'm very intrigued, and I'd like to check it out when it does come out, or at least if it comes out and everyone says it's good, I'll definitely check it out. At the end of the day, Game Freak is really one of the developers that goes back to my childhood. I mean, I grew up playing Pokemon. Arguably, Pokemon was one of the first video games I ever played. I mean, I played some games before that, but my first actual video game console was a Game Boy Color with Pokemon Silver. And I played through that era. I played through Ruby and Sapphire. I played a little bit of Diamond. I didn't really go anywhere past that, but yeah, I have a lot of memories with Pokemon and Game Freak, and it's really interesting to see like a completely new style of game coming from them. So yeah, I definitely have that on my radar, but it's not like at the top of my radar. And then, of course, the major event of the Direct was Fable. We finally got a look at the new Fable. I'm not really a Fable guy. Like, I didn't grow up playing it. I appreciate it for what it is, and I do hope to play through the original trilogy, or at least try to kind of like, experience it. Because I do recognize its value in gaming history and what it brought to the table. I've met a lot of people who are big fans of Fable, and they're not really too excited for the new one. A lot of Fable fanatics actually think that I say Fable fanatics, but like people who are really into Fable, they look at the new Fable and they think that it's absolute garbage. They think that it's ruining Fable as a franchise, and that it's not doing justice to the original trilogy. There's also people who think that it's going to be really good and that it looks good and it's a new thing. And for me personally, I'm not like a Fable fan. I didn't play the original game, so to me it's just like this new game, and it looks like a fun, charming fantasy thing with like that looks kind of like it's got like a lot of British humor. I don't even know what that means, but that's what they kind of say, like it's got British humor. So I don't know. It looks good. Graphically, the game looks incredible. The gameplay looks good. It hopefully has a good story. I'll definitely keep an eye on it when it comes out. But as far as whether or not I'll be playing it, it just depends on, you know, what I hear about it. I mean, I like to make my own opinions on games, but if a game drops and it's a complete flop, I probably won't touch it, right? I mean, again, that's just because of the fact that I have such a limited time to play games that I kind of have to pick my battles. For example, right? Forspoken. If you know what that is, if you don't know, it's a game from Square Enix. It's like this fantasy kind of thing where they blend like modernity with fantasy. Like this girl from the modern age gets dropped into like, it's kind of like an isekai where you get dropped into like a fantasy world and you just have to like go through it and you have a story. And a lot of people said that it was very cringy in the dialogue, but that wasn't it. A lot of people didn't like it because they said that the story was cringy and the dialogue was cringy. But a lot of people also said that the gameplay was really, really fun and that the game looks good. So, I personally didn't touch it because, I have such a limited time gaming. And if the overwhelming majority of people say that it's not good, then I probably, I don't know, the way I see it, it's probably not worth my time. Will I ever play Forspoken? I think if I can get it on a deep sale, if I get it for like $10 or something, I wouldn't be opposed to like trying it out. And that's the same thing with like Fable. Like if Fable drops and it's, it doesn't really, like it has mixed reviews, or if it's negatively reviewed, I'd probably get it on sale and try it out just for the sake of trying out a Fable game. Even though I know it has nothing to do with the originals, but yeah, I mean, the Xbox Developer Direct is really cool this year. It's definitely a cool event that I guess from now on is going to be like an annual thing. But yeah, that happened pretty recently, so I wanted to talk about it. And I'm going to go ahead and go, but before I let you go, I wanted to talk about a couple of movies that my wife and I watched this past weekend as like this week's movie recommendation. So we watched Wake Up Dead Man, which is chapter 3 in the Knives Out trilogy. Really, really good. If you like Knives Out and Glass Onion, Wake Up Dead Man is probably my favorite one of the bunch. I don't know, it's between that one and the first one, but it was really, really good. I'm not going to say anything about it to not spoil it, but it's like, it's Knives Out. It's a murder mystery. It has you on your toes the whole time, trying to figure out who done it, and it's really, really good. The other movie we watched was No Other Choice, which is a new Korean film from what was his name? Park Hoon-chan. Sorry, I was going to say Bong Joon-ho, but it's actually Park Hoon-chan, the guy behind Old Boy, The Handmaiden. It was a really good movie. I have to rewatch it because my wife and I watched it with Arabic subtitles. That's typically how we watch like foreign films, and I can get through it. Like I can read Arabic subtitles pretty well to an extent, and I can understand it, but there's definitely a lot of nuance that I missed out on. So I'd like to rewatch it with English subtitles just so I can like fully understand it. But overall, it was a really good film. It was filmed really well. I love the cinematography and the shots, and it's got a pretty good story to it too. So I highly recommend checking out No Other Choice, as well as Wake Up Dead Man for Knives Out. But that's it for my video here. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your week, and as always, take care.
I'll do it.